thank you for joining me for the first episode of my big fat health journey. As you can see, I am overweight. Now, one of the reasons I decided to take this journey is because just before Christmas, I was diagnosed as having hypertension. So I have high blood pressure. My blood pressure is actually 150 over 100, which is, it's hypertension stage 2. Okay, which means I'm on medication. I was given medication just before Christmas. And when I went back prior to Christmas, I was my blood pressure had come down slightly. So when I first went in, it was 140 over 95. I believe that was around the number. And when I went back just before Christmas, it had come down to 135 over 90. So the meds were working, the blood pressure was coming down. When I went back after Christmas, we'd had an increase again. It had gone up to 150 over 100, which means my meds have now been doubled. Now, meds are vitally important for helping treat hypertension. Vitally important. There's, you know, it's important. You take your medication that the doctors give you, but when it comes to hypertension, your lifestyle actually has a huge impact on your blood pressure, right? So I am trying to lose weight, and I am trying to increase my exercise. I have cut down on my caffeine. I used to drink up to 8 cups of coffee a day, which is really not good, especially when you've got hypertension. I cut that down to 2. It had slowly creeped back up over Christmas. I've cut that back down to 2 cups of coffee a day. The rest of the time I'm drinking herbal tea or water, because you need to keep your yourself hydrated. That's important. So when I first had this idea of doing a virtual walk, I wanted to do something that it wasn't going to be over in a month. It wasn't going to be over in 2 months. It was going to be something that I had to consistently do over the year, which is why I chose the walk I did. And the walk I've chosen to do is 1,280 miles. I don't know what that is in kilometers, but I'll pop it up here on the screen for you. I'm from the UK. We're talking miles, we're talking pounds, we're talking inches, but I will try and convert everything for those of you that are using the metric system. So that distance is from my house all the way to my in-laws' house, which is just outside of Milan in Italy. Now, obviously, I cannot actually walk that, which is why it's a virtual walk. So what that means is I will be walking locally, I will be swimming in the pool locally, I will be using my treadmill on days like today when it is howling with wind and the rain is lashing and things like that. And I will be recording how far I've walked, how far I have eventually jogged, because I will be running some of it eventually, and how far I have swum, or swam, whichever way you want to pronounce it. And I will be recording that on a website which is linked down below, and I'll also put a picture up here again for you guys, just so that it tracks how far I've walked from my starting point to my end point, so we can always visually see where I am up to. Okay, now back to the blood pressure thing, just as a little FYI. When it comes to your heart, you have or your blood pressure, you have 2 numbers. You have your systolic number and you have your diastolic number. Your systolic number should be anything between 90 and 120, and that is basically the pressure that is in your heart as your heart is, or the arteries, sorry, the pressure that's in your arteries as your heart is contracting to pump blood around your body. The second number, which should be anything up to 80, between 60 and 80 is considered healthy. I'm at 100, so I'm definitely not healthy right now. That is the pressure that is in your arteries between contractions of heartbeat. So that's just a little bit of information. Okay. Editing this is going to be so much fun because I am all over the place. I did have notes and I don't know what I'm doing right now. I got my notes. Right, so we've talked about why I'm doing the journey, and we've talked about the journey that I am doing and how I'm going to do it. Now, this journey for me is going to be one that is incredibly raw and incredibly vulnerable. We all have issues with our body that we're not happy with. I have never been comfortable in my body for a long time. I deliberately chose to gain weight at a young age, and there are demons in my past as to why I chose to gain weight at a young age. Those are going to have to be faced, because I lost 4.5 stone on Slimming World. And as soon as I hit a certain point where I actually started to look slender and curvy and everything else that was going on, I panicked and I stopped going, and I piled all the weight back on because I wasn't ready to let go of that security blanket. A security blanket that didn't work, a security blanket that didn't solve the problem, a security blanket that's caused more problems than it would have solved in the long run. I need to be able to let that go, and some of that time is going to be with you guys in front of the camera, and they're going to be topics discussed which probably won't be suitable for children. As to why I chose to put on the weight, not something I'm quite prepared to say yet, but along this journey, this year-long journey, I quite probably will come out and fill you guys in on that. Something that some members of my family don't even know. My close family do, but extended members of the family don't even know, and that's going to be putting a huge amount of my life out there. So I will ask that when you're watching these videos, that any comments that we keep are going to be respectful, and that they are going to be motivational. But one thing I will say is, we're going to get trolls. Trolls are a part of the internet. There's nothing we can do to stop trolls being trolls, right? What I will say is this. I might not be 100% confident in my body, but I'm 100% confident in my ability to be a sassy cow. I 100% am. I am a sassy, sarcastic bitch, and I do not apologize for that in any way, shape, or form. So if somebody comes at me with negative trolley comments, dude, you're going to get it straight back. Just be warned that that is going to be a thing, okay? So I have discussed disclaimers and everything else. I don't really know what else to say apart from thank you for taking this journey with me. At some point we will be fundraising. The fundraising will, I'm trying to figure that out. We're having issues with the website that I'm using to track my walk. They're supposed to take donations. They say they don't have a PayPal account, which I've had for 10 years and is a business account. So I may have to set up a fundraising page somewhere else, and I'm in the process of checking those out. And another thing I was going to do is I am actually going to crochet myself a journey blanket. Now you can probably see, is it over there? Yeah, over there, just behind me. There are crochet blankets there. They're ready for the neonatal unit at the hospital in Dublin, and they will be packed off. But something similar to that. It will be big enough for a UK king size bed. What that is in the US, I don't know, but I will let you know right here what that will be in dimensions. And I am going to be crocheting one row for every 10 miles that I walk. I'm going to be, what did I say? Oh yeah, one row for every $5 that's donated. I'm going to do one row for every pound of weight that I lose, and I'm going to do one row for every inch I lose off my waist. That has just reminded me because we have more information. We do. Where did I write it down? Here. So this is full disclosure time. You guys can't follow me on this journey unless, what is happening with my bra straps today? You guys can't follow me on this journey if you don't know where I'm starting from, okay? So I got on the scales yesterday morning. This is in kilos, because I like to work in pounds, and my other half's like, put it in kilos. So I'm going to put it in kilos, okay? So it is 96.65 kilos. Dude, I have not been that heavy in forever. I mean, that I think is slightly heavier than when I started Slimming World all years ago, and I lost 4.5 stone. I think I'm actually heavier now. My waist is 39 inches, which is huge. It's huge, but what can I do? My upper leg is 27 inches, and my upper arms here, below the tattoo area, is 17 inches. I'm not giving you a bust measurement, guys, because we can all see that my boobs are huge, and you guys just don't need to know that. I mean, some of you might be nosy, but whatever. We're not telling you that. That's my personal business, okay? So that is where we're starting from. Where I end up, I don't actually have a goal as to how much weight I want to lose. Because my goal is to complete this journey, to get healthy with my food and to get healthy with my exercise. That is my goal, and everything else will follow along. If I'm eating less and I'm exercising more, I'm going to lose weight. It's going to happen. So hopefully I can get it back down to like a size 14, 12 around the waist. My boobs are never going to be that small. They're a size 18 no matter what I do. So that's just going to stay where it is. But I'm hoping to get down to a 12 or a 14 on my waist. We will see. We will see how we get on with that. But I want to thank you guys for joining me for this first video. I know I've rambled a little bit. But I just wanted to set the scene as to what we're going to be doing. Weekly videos are just going to include what I've done during the week, how much weight I've lost, and how many miles I have done. I will be starting with smaller goals. I need to actually do 25 miles a week to hit my goal by the end of the year. I'm not going to be able to do that to start with. I haven't exercised properly in ages. So I am probably going to be I'm going to be starting off, because my treadmill measures in kilometers, right? So I'll be starting off walking 4 kilometers a day. slowly increasing it. And then eventually I will be able to do, I will exceed where I'm up to, and I can start kind of scaling it back a little bit. Once the warm weather comes and it's spring and it's summer, I'll be out walking in the woods with the kids like I always am, and I can do a 10-kilometer hike in a day. I've done it before. I can do a 12-kilometer hike in a day. The problem I've got is that the next couple of days I'm so sore I don't want to do anything. So, you know, we're going to have to keep an eye on that. We've got to take baby steps, guys, but I will get there. So thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate the fact that you guys wanted to join me on this journey. I think I will get used to talking to the camera and making more eye contact with the camera rather than checking what I'm actually doing on the screen. I know it's probably irritating to you guys that I'm not looking at you, but that's a confidence thing. It will come in time. But thank you so much for joining me and for supporting me and for wanting to know how I do, and hopefully it will motivate some of you. Hopefully the story I end up telling will help somebody out there, and that's really what I want to do. That's what this is all about. Keep me motivated and help other people. So thank you guys, I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Ciao for now, guys.